rows. It was so dark. Oh, pretty cool. Yeah, the smoke is crazy thick right now.
It was it's just kind of this hazy background for us.
Mm.
It's not quite, must stay inside, but I'm sure it
Yeah.
affects a lot more people than me.
Well, crazy enough, but yeah, last year, my brothers and I, my family were like right on the edge of the fire, and we actually went out there into the what they call the what is it the red zone or whatever, and yeah, we actually had to go out there and pull out belongings that we wanted to save, stuff like that, and then me and my brothers ended up staying at our parents' house. The fire was like 3 miles, 5 miles away,
Oh,
and just pitch black red in the sky. We actually ended up going around town and putting out fires and stuff because there was like leaves floating in. We put out a fire at a restaurant, and then I went over to a volunteer firefighter's house with my younger brother at like 1 in the morning, and basically just put out a whole bunch of fires around his entire house. It was absolutely crazy.
yeah. It must be just one of the most frightening things in the world because it's such a helpless feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you're literally just fighting nature.
Yeah.
You know, like good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how'd you find out about the movie?
Oh, it was kind of a roundabout way. Um, I was watching YouTube,
Uh-huh.
and this gal has a channel where she
I'm. Hey Jim, it says
Yeah.
that I need to be let into the meeting.
Oh.
So it's just been spinning for the last few minutes.
Hang on. Gotcha.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, man.
Well, that was full. Yeah. Okay. So this just some random person posted on YouTube about the.
Yeah, she's got a channel where she does some. Well, she mainly collects movies,
Mm-hmm.
and it's mainly like new releases and stuff. So she walks around to all the stores every week and searches out movies to buy. And she picked up this thing and said, "Oh, what the heck is this? Mount Adams? Oh my goodness! Well, I don't think I'll buy that today, but I've never seen that before." And I was like, "Well, Mount Adams? Are you kidding me?" So I'm in Hood River here, and I can look out my back window and see Mount Adams. So I started the process of figuring out, what is this movie? What's it about? And you guys popped up. So thank you very much for joining me today. This is really, really interesting.
Oh, great. Yeah. Thank you for the offer.
Yeah. So I want to start. What movie influenced you guys to want to make movies?
Oh, well, that's a whole lot. I'd say the Spirit of St. Louis with Jimmy Stewart is one. Probably one of the biggest, I would say. We grew up with a lot of old classics like the Ten Commandments, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, Ben-Hur. Sound of Music.
How about you, Philip?
Yeah, I think, I would say probably the classics as well. Like, Ben-Hur, The King and I, Sound of Music, Ten Commandments and all that. Those are very inspiring movies.
Okay. All right, I'm just going to bounce around a little bit. I haven't seen your film yet.
Okay.
But it seems to be of a general sci-fi genre, but I kind of get this undercurrent that you're trying to say that there are some truthful things to some of your stories here. And can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's loosely based on the alien phenomenon surrounding Mount Adams. Phil and I went up there a while ago, and we visited the ECETI Ranch, and they told us all these stories and stuff. Bigfoot, aliens. I mean, we've done some night watches there, stuff like that, and we were just, it really like struck a chord with us, and Philip can probably tell you a bit more about that as well too.
Yeah. So, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say there's so much into that backstory. I don't know how far you want to dig into that, but like Tim and I have been involved in researching like the orb light phenomenon in Washington and Oregon, out in kind of some of the desert areas. And back many years ago, was it probably 8, 10, maybe 10? I don't know. I'd have to, maybe 10 years ago now. We used to travel around different parts of Washington where people reported seeing these orbs of light, because we love like mysterious phenomenon and cryptozoology and things like that. And so we used to follow these reports around, and eventually there was one time we were just driving all over the state of Washington, and we wound up at the ECETI Ranch because we had heard a lot of people talking about the strange light phenomenon in the area. And we went out there, and that night we were like, well, we want to have a good view of the mountain and everything. So we went up this old logging road, and we followed it pretty much until it ended. And then it became like an ATV trail. We ended up driving my old car pretty far up that overgrown road, and then eventually it just stopped. So we got out, and we just kind of bushwhacked straight through the trees, and we eventually found this clearing, and it was a pretty nice area. It's like a plateau we could see around and everything. And so we set up, and we found this little, like, I don't know what you call it, like a little fort kind of thing somebody had made with branches, little I don't know, whatever that word is to describe a structure,
almost like a fire lookout kind of, or hunting.
Like a hunting blind kind of look, except it was just sticks. Somebody just taken sticks and built it. Anyhow, we sat in there, and we were looking around, just waiting for the light, waiting for the light to go out, for nighttime to hit. And anyhow, as it got around dusk, we started hearing these very strange noises coming from the woods around us. So we had a little clearing in front and behind us, and so we had a little distance from the thick wooded areas, but very strange, like loud grunts and growls. And we figured, oh, it was probably a bear or something, and then the funny thing is it got louder and louder as it got darker. But the crazy part is we started hearing it behind us, in front of us, to the side, over here, like all at the same time. So it was like a herd of bears or something. It got to be very strange. And then eventually we started hearing like trees, like branches breaking. It sounded like somebody was like breaking branches and hitting things. And it started to get very, very strange, to the point where after it got dark, we were so freaked out, we ended up all leaving. In the night, we walked through the woods back to our car, and we took off. But anyhow, fast forward years later, we just got done with another movie called Manifest, the Chrysanthemum Era. It's on Amazon Prime right now, and we were trying to figure out, hey, what do we do now? And so we were sitting at one of our places to go hang out, to Snow Peak here in Oregon, and we're chilling up there, and we started thinking, like, those experiences and the stories and things like that we collected in our journeys around the Mount Adams area and other areas of Washington as well, started to all kind of come together, and we're like, maybe that could make an interesting movie. Because, we believe that telling stories that personally relate to us helps us to make things that we're passionate about, and really connect. So that's kind of what we ended up doing. It was a very wacky idea. we started off kind of with the idea of we're going to make a found footage movie. And over a period of time, over a few months after we started writing the script and doing various things, it started kind of materializing. And we're like, we should probably make this into more of a, regular movie. And so we started going down the route of, getting the lights and picking out a camera and all that good stuff. And eventually it kind of wound up becoming what it is today.
Yeah. So it looks like this project took place over 2018, 2019, 2020 time period. Is that correct?
Well, no. So we actually filmed in September of 2016.
Oh.
And then after that, we came back every year and we filmed more scenes for the movie. So every summer we refilmed a couple of things and we added more stuff to the movie. And we did that for like 4 years. Was it 4 years? Yeah, about 4 years after we finished filming. So every year it was just a project to come back and redo stuff or add new items. And we finished it in January of this year. That was when we actually packaged it and sent it to the distribution company and, washed our hands of the editing, which, was Tim's handiwork. Tim did all the editing for this, along with your buddy Josh. So, but
is there any estimate on the number of hours that is spent on a project like this?
Honestly, I try not to think about it.
Yeah.
So Tim, you actually did categorize some of your hours for the editing.
I did, for visual effects. Actually, I think I can look that up. We have a second. Just for the animation and visual effects.
So we use a project tracking system called Trello. It's a little app you can get on your phone and has an internet, like a browser-based system. And so that's where we can keep track of our hours too. But
okay, here we go. So it is the times that I actually tracked my hours. It is currently at about 2,000.
Wow.
So, but that it doesn't include the pre-production and like actual filming and things like that. So building the cabin, I guess you haven't seen it yet, but in the trailer it does. I think the cabin is in the trailer somewhere, towards the end where they're like shooting the guns out the window.
Okay.
So that cabin we built for the movie, and that took probably 3.5, maybe 4 months. We were fortunate enough to work with, so our co-producer, Danny Weiss, pretty much headed up that project of getting the cabin built. And then I would drive out there after work and then help him out almost every night for like a month. So it was about 30 minutes away from my office. But so.
Okay. And in the film, is there any kind of what percentage of the footage is of the Mount Adams area?
That's a question for Tim.
There are about, I think there's a couple background plates basically. So there's probably about, I don't know, maybe like 5 different shots of the Mount Adams area. Some of it's scattered around, but a lot of it is, just background plates or a CGI composite. So we went up there and took basically like scanned the mountain. I also downloaded height data from like the park system or whatever, and basically recreated the mountain in a close to perfect detail on my computer. And use that for extra shots or like little drone stuff here or there, or shots that we couldn't get because it's a bit of a long drive for us.
Right. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of it. Most of it was filmed in a area around what's called Snow Peak, near what Lyons, I think Lyons, Oregon.
Okay.
So it's an area. It's just out in the middle of just nowhere. So, but Tim and I grew up hanging out up there, going down the old logging roads, and we're very like, yeah, we enjoy being in the country and yeah, being out in the woods, and that's kind of something we were very familiar with, and so that's where we ended up filming most of the movie. There are some scenes that take place in Salem, Oregon, as well as a few. There's a couple other small Staten, Oregon. We filmed a couple, like the hotel scenes are there and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
but yeah, the vast majority is out in the woods, and it presents unique challenges. There's no power you can just like plug into. There's all kinds of. We had insect bites take place with the actors, and yeah, one actress had an injury on set, just from a shoulder, and there was plenty of challenges to deal with when you're out in the middle of nowhere filming.
I bet.
So there's certainly changes we would make in the future going forward, but but fortunately everybody survived and we came out of this.
Yeah.
Unlike the characters in the movie, not to spoil it.
Right. So without spoiling too much, can you go into a little bit, what is this movie about?
Oh, well, I'll give you a brief little log line here. It's a team of UFO investigators find themselves fighting for survival as alien monsters hunt them on the slopes of Mount Adams.
And what do you want people to get out of this movie?
Hopefully they just have fun, have fun watching it, make a drinking game out of it, poke fun at it, just hopefully they enjoy it. This is Phil and I's first feature film, not only our first feature film, this is our first time on a feature film set. We have had no prior experience working on a feature film before, and so we just kind of crazy enough, we just sort of decided to dump everything that we have into making this movie, and it has been our film school, for the past around 5 years. And we've learned a crazy amount. I had no idea what we were taking on, but I'm glad we did.
Mm-hmm. And I understand, Tim, that you are basically one of the lead actors in the movie.
Yes,
what was that process like for you?
The acting process? Oh yeah, well, that was fun. Took some, ended up taking more acting classes, and my dream job is to become, a full-fledged actor and movie producer. So yeah, it was really fun for just months on end, just developing the character and trying to, it's basically that. That was also my acting school as well, acting alongside other professionals, and just being able to pick their brain. We had the guy at the Ranger Bill actor, Greg James. Previously, he was on the Wild movie with Reese Witherspoon. As a player. So
I think some of that happened in Cascade Locks, I think.
I believe so. Yeah, no, that was a big project then.
That was a couple years ago, though. That was a bunch of years ago.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, she's a major star. But it's just we just went from little just grew up out in the country, homeschooled, no experience on movies. None of our family members are connected to Hollywood or anything like that, and we have just been on this crazy journey to try to make a career out of filmmaking.
Mm-hmm. And Philip, I picture you were the main person either behind the camera or directing. What was that like?
Yeah, so there was a lot of hats to wear on this production. You know, being a producer has a lot of responsibilities. You know, that includes like hiring people, working on contracts, all that kind of stuff, you know, and then in addition to that, yes, directing. I ran the camera for probably what 60-70% of the movie. And then also had Jordan Roach from Portland. She was working with us, taking over the camera for the scenes where I'm in front of the camera.
Mm.
So I bounce between the two. And obviously, if I'm in front, we needed somebody good covering the camera. But yeah, there was a huge learning experience, you know, a lot of things to keep in mind, you know, as you're filming, you know, choosing the right lenses, making sure that, you know, framing and composition is on target, as well as like, you know, not breaking the 180 rule. There's like a whole bunch of things that, you know, you have to really think through when you're filming. And then of course, yeah, working with the actors and trying to make good calls on, you know, which takes, right, are the ones you want to end up in the movie. And so plenty of new things to learn. And I enjoyed it quite a bit. And looking forward to the next project as well.
Yeah, how interesting. So, you know, as I mentioned before, this movie of yours is available on the East Coast. Have you guys walked into a retail store yet and seen your movie?
As a matter of fact, there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, we actually went to Walmart. What was it, the day before yesterday? And we had no idea it was out, and we were on a conference call with one of the distribution companies, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this is out in Walmart." And we are like, "Oh really?" So apparently it's been out since August 3rd. So we went out and checked, and we went to 4 Walmarts, and 3 out of the 4 had it. So apparently it's in almost every Walmart across the nation right now. And it's kind of crazy, but yeah, we picked up a whole bunch of copies. It's kind of weird, you know, buying your own movie from Walmart. But it's fun. You know, I think we freaked out one of the cashiers when we mentioned that, "Oh yeah, this is our movie." They're like, "Yeah, I don't think so." Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's pretty fun. We're also streaming online. We got Amazon, you know, and everything else. And
I saw that.
Yeah, reviews are coming in, and everybody loves the movie. No, I'm kidding. Yep.
Well, I checked. I went to the Walmart here in Hood River. The day I went, I didn't see it, but I haven't checked in a few days. They may have like a little bit of a different cycle for getting this stuff in, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it, and I hope I see it there. Yeah, especially since you can see the mountain from their parking lot.
Yeah. Hey, if you can't find one, we will personally mail you a DVD.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's fun. It's really cool to go from, you know, a concept to, you know, 6 years after the initial concept to actually having a physical representation of that out there.
Yeah. Good. So can you chat just a little bit? What's your next project?
Yeah. So Tim, feel free to jump in on this one. Our next project centers around the crew of a spacecraft that's crashed into an alien planet, and they are trying to repair their ship, battle the toxic atmosphere and the creatures that live in it, and try to repair their ship and get off before time runs out. So that's our we're tentatively calling it Temerity. It's based on a award-winning short story that my wife actually wrote a number of years ago. Yeah, we're really excited about, we're moving forward on a whole bunch of different things right now. We just got the concept art for the characters in. We're getting permits to film in certain locations and things like that. So yeah, it's coming together.
Hmm. Huh. And what advice do you have for folks who might be interested in starting this process of, I want to make a movie?
Well,
Where do you start, and what should you do?
I would say get ready for a wild ride and don't give up. You just have to keep on trying, even if it gets difficult, even if it feels like nothing's working out. You have to keep at it. Yeah. Just don't give up. That's a big thing. You have to persevere and take criticism.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, yeah, like Tim was saying, it's great to have all kinds of skills, but really that tenacity, determination is what's going to get you through to the finish line. Because we all make mistakes. I mean, in Mount Adams, we refilmed a lot of stuff, and we came along like years later and decided, oh man, we really needed to have these other scenes in the movie, and we never didn't have them in there, and so we had to go back and film more stuff. And I think it's being critical of your own work and trying to, yeah, just take it as far as you absolutely can, and I feel like with Mount Adams, we did the best that we could. And even though it's not as good as plenty of other movies that are out there, we still did our best, and I feel good about that. So I think that's the ultimately, that I think that's where it lands.
Great. All right. Well, I want to say congratulations on getting your movie out there. It must be just a really satisfying thing to know that you did it, and you got enough people interested in the project that it's now a physical product that people can buy or watch online.
It is very surreal. Yeah, absolutely. Still yeah. It's let's see what happens next. I'm very excited for the future, and this has been a crazy roller coaster journey for us, getting this from from just an idea that we came up on top of a mountain to now it's a DVD in Walmart and Amazon and DirecTV, and it is, yeah, very, very, very crazy. And I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around it. It's like that quote from SpongeBob, Plankton. It's like, oh, didn't think I'd get this far.
Yeah, and it's just it's just really interesting to think that because of this movie, there might be it might interest more people to check out this area, and maybe maybe build on what you did and say, hey, we should really make a movie about this aspect of the mountain or the area.
Next, you'll see Mount Shasta come out, Mount Jefferson, and Mount Hood, the movie.
There you go.
I mean, who knows? But the Mount Adams area has a very special place in our heart, and just from the experiences that Tim and I have had on the mountain, along with Dan Weiss and Josh as well, who's worked with us on a lot of projects, and up there in that there I got just message there popped up, sorry, something about Zoom said something, but it's something that we hope other people get the chance to enjoy the beauty of the area and the mysteriousness of it. We love the whole the mysterious aspects
Mhm.
to things, the mythology of the area and all of that. And of course, we love like, yeah, doing the whole Bigfoot research and you name it. It's UFOs, whatever the case is. We
Mhm.
actually filmed a documentary up there a couple of years ago where we climbed the mountain, interviewed people, and we actually got some footage of what looks like a UFO as well from our night vision camera. So
Hmm.
there's all kinds of crazy stuff in that documentary. We haven't released it yet. We're trying to find the time to work on it. But
we also like are going to find out and see how well the movie does, and if it performs well, financially, then we will be able to work with a distribution company and get some more funding and get the documentary out.
All right. Well, thank you very much, you guys. We have Timothy Wade and Philip Wade uh, involved in the Mount Adams movie just released 2021 and featuring our own local Mount Adams. So
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
yeah, well, hey, thanks, Jim. We appreciate the opportunity, and feel free. You can bug us anytime.
great.
Mhm.
Thanks, you guys. All right. Most likely, most of this Zoom conversation will probably be used for the article,
Okay.
if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
I know my Zoom name says Timothy Wade, but my
Just Tim?
agent I go by Tim.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. Okay. Very cool.
And I'm gonna put your movie on my queue to look at it pretty soon. And I'm not a harsh reviewer or anything, so
Yeah, no worries, man.
I appreciate the sci-fi stuff. It's just what you guys like, quote unquote, grew up on, and what you're doing now seem to be opposite ends of the spectrum. That's
Right.
We're just kind of it's what we were inspired by,
yeah.
and what we are trying to in our next film, we're referencing and trying to go back to the old classic Hollywood style of storytelling and filmmaking, and we're really like doing the putting in some good hard research into trying to, we've been, it's almost like it's sort of a passion. It's following what you're passionate about. And, we really love those old movies. But, for your first movie, good luck trying to make classic Hollywood type style. Like they were serious back then. They did good stuff.
Oh, yeah. You can only imagine, just the sets that they have to build. And the resources you need for that. It's just
it is crazy.
We've actually built a few sets so far. I think we built 3 at this point.
Wow.
So for Manifest, the Crescentium era short film, we built 2 sets, an exterior and an interior set. And then for Mount Adams, we built an entire cabin. So, and we actually ended up selling it when we were done. So it was a nice, we obviously lost a lot of money on it, but it was nice to get a little fraction of that back. But yeah, that was a crazy project because like the walls were on hinges, so you could like lift them up, and there's a lot of modifications we did when we were designing it to adapt it for filming.
Wow. Well, it's just, making a movie just must be this whole different world to me.
Yep.
I mean, I'm more familiar with, make a stage for a band and have a concert and that, but a movie is, like you say, you build something and it may have to function as 10 different things. Or something like that,
Yeah, well, and there's not a whole lot of room for any kind of well, error to a certain degree. You know, you have to think about where your lights are going to be and all this stuff. And, you know, obviously the audience can't see that. You have to build things in such a way where when you're filming it, yeah, everything it looks real. So when someone's watching it, they think, oh, that's just somebody's house, or that's just a cabin they found out in the woods, you know. That's what you want, right? But at the end of the day, there's a lot of stuff that goes into making it look real. So
Absolutely.
yeah, well, I'm excited to hear your thoughts on the movie. I hope you enjoy it. And you know, yeah, I know that you know, it's got some of the low budget aspects to it, but
A
you
little
know,
campy.
yeah, but I hope it's still a fun ride.
Well, good. I appreciate that. I look forward to watching it. I really do.
Awesome.
Will the article be available online, or how? I'd love to read it. Yeah.
Sure. Whether it comes out this next week or the week after, I'm not sure yet. But as soon as I get a link for it, I'll send it to you guys.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to. Yeah. Add it to a little archive list.
Yeah, we can publish it to our Facebook pages and
Yeah, we'll promote
stuff
it
like
too.
that too. So
Sure. Terrific. Okay. Well, very nice meeting you guys. Again, congratulations on getting that movie out and done. I know that must be a huge relief, and just a real thrill to see it out there.
Yeah. It
yeah.
is. It's yeah. I feel like celebrating every night.
Okay. Thanks again. I'll let you know when the thing gets posted up, and we'll see you in the next movie.
Very cool. Thank you so much, Jim.
Sounds
Okay.
great, man.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.